Good afternoon, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my contemplative time this morning was all about inspiration. And so the quotation that I came across was by Patanjali. And this quotation says, "When you are inspired, dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive. And you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be." So I thought that was very fitting for my thinking about inspirational action. And I find that over time, I am more and more inspired by intuition, which is so interesting, which is why I've named this video Inspired by Intuition. And this idea of intuition, some people have worked on it. Some people feel that they just have it from birth, and some people have gifts from birth for sure, and other people develop it over time. And I suspect I've probably been one of those people who has developed over time, but maybe it's always been there and I've just never really paid attention to it. These days, of course, I pay a lot of attention to these things, and I came across another quotation by Krishnamurti, which says, "Intuition is the whisper of the soul." And this definitely hit home for me because I'm definitely doing a lot of work with making sure I'm in tune with my soul, or at least more in tune with my soul, or higher consciousness. And of course, I wanted to look more at inspired actions and more at intuition. And if you've had these feelings, you might have a desire to figure out, what are these feelings? Like, what? I think it's intuition. I think it's inspired action. What is this? So this quotation by Matthew Donnelly talks about inspired action. And he says, "Inspired action is when you take action with no mind, pure silence." Now, this is a great definition of inspired action coming post meditation. Sometimes people will actually intend to meditate on something specific, and I know I do this sometimes too. And it's not during the meditation that I'm anticipating having a result of, I know what kind of action to take, because that would kind of take away from the whole purpose of meditation, which is pure silence and no thought. So here, where this quotation is also saying no mind, this is no thinking mind, right? So this is trusting that there is a different energy that we can tap into through meditation that then inspires our action, or may inspire our action if we choose it to be. I find that whether we're intending to do that or not, it does. And there's a lot of trust and faith for that for me. But for other people, it might just be this: my whole intention is to calm my mind. And the idea is the same, because something might just come to your mind and you might think, oh, I don't know how that idea came to me, but yeah, I must have been thinking about it, or it was because I spoke to so-and-so or whatever. And oftentimes things do happen in a very unique way that puts things together for our hopes or dreams or our life's journey. So then I came across a quotation by Sylvia Clare, who talked more about intuition. And she says, "Intuition is a sense of knowing how to act spontaneously without needing to know why." I love this one. So again, intuition is a sense of knowing of how to act spontaneously without needing to know why. And I can tell you, so many of my actions lately are these spontaneous actions, and I don't know why. So I will say that sometimes, many times, I like to sit on my step to just watch my flowers, and I can tell you that it's such a fun activity for me. But I could just as happily sit on my balcony and do the same thing. I could sit in a park, or I could sit in the forest. I like that time of connecting with nature. But occasionally, I feel like I really want to sit at this spot specifically. And I can tell you, I always see a particular message when it's very, very clear that for whatever reason, I feel like sitting here. There's something that happens. So either I meet a person, or I see an animal or bird or an insect, and I look up the spiritual messages behind that. And there's always some purpose as to why did I choose to go there today. So I love that. I do think that this is a good definition of intuition, a good way to think of intuition. And then there's a quotation by Steve Maraboli who says, I am participating in the evolution of inspired action. And I think I am for myself because I can say that before it was always very much, I should do this, I have to do this, I should have done this, that sort of idea. Now I feel myself evolving into inspired action, which I have to tell you feels so beautiful. Like it's peaceful and powerful at the same time. And I would wish for this for any of you who are thinking of looking at connecting with your higher self or higher consciousness. And I wanted to end today with a quotation from Albert Einstein. And of course, Albert Einstein knows how to keep us in line. He says, I believe in intuition and inspiration. I sometimes feel that I am right. I do not know that I am right. So this is how I feel too, that there is a real strong sense of knowing when a particular direction is pushing us, and we might not know why, but it feels right. And to take away ego and maintain humility, recognize always that it might not be what you felt it was going to be, because it might actually also be leading you to less than easy times, yet you get through those and somehow your intuition was right, which is so interesting. I find that, again, intuition and inspiration really do go hand in hand. And you can see, I definitely think that if I was more in an ego mind, I'd say, I know this is right, but I feel this is right. I feel this is the correct direction. I feel this is something I need to do. I do not even push this idea on this is what you need to do. I really like the idea of I feel this is really right for me. And then I like to inspire others to work from that space. This is an inspired space for an individual, which is really tapping into intuition. So today for 5 minutes after this video, if you can sit and think about what kind of experience have you had that might have been this combination. I'm inspired to do this and suddenly this is happening. And again, perhaps it's something that you never could have imagined because there was some intuitive sense for you to get there. This is a good way for you to practice knowing whether you do have a bit of intuitive ability, which is then leading to your inspired action. And I believe that's a very powerful space to work from and live from. So I wish you that fun exercise, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.